I am Boba Fett. The ship you seek is nearby.
This is Wrecker, Hunter, Echo, Tech, and Crosshair.
Obviously, we are different.
We're all you're getting.
Ha! We're all you need.
They call themselves the Bad Batch. Experimental Unit Clone Force 99. The defective clones with desirable mutations.
This is one meeting I don't want to miss.
Hello, everybody, and happy Life Day. Welcome to another edition of the Bad Batch podcast, episode 16. My name is Steven Schultz, and I am your host in the pilot seat today. And you know I can't do it alone. With us, as always, the other Dad Batchers, your space daddies. First up, he ain't no punk, but he's surely daft. It's Ramy Shanaday. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm not used to going first, but our friend Joe's not with us today. That intro was something special, Steve.
That was awesome.
It was just as good as it was in 1977.
That is that accurate statement. I'm good. I trooped on Saturday. I did a Veterans Day event out in Riverside. Gave me a chance to swing by and visit Chrome-tono headquarters briefly. Picked up something that we'll probably talk about a little bit later when we get into the Workbench segment. And then saw Steven later in the day after the troop. So always good to see. Any day that I get to see one of you guys is a good day. So
right on, man. How's work? Everything good?
Yeah, just trying to get through the grind right now. It's like this week's sort of long because I know next week will be short, and then it'll just be like a whirlwind between then and the end of the year. So this is kind of my last like really bulky week between now and the end of the year.
Family's good?
Yep.
Cool.
The kids. But the Woodward place down the street from us here, they basically gave Bubby the gate code, and they're like, yeah, just come whenever you want.
That's sick.
They're down there right now. I don't know what kind of.
That's awesome.
I think
How far is it from you guys?
It's like a mile.
Oh my god, super close.
Yeah.
So awesome.
That's how that being here is how we even found the area. Like started coming to bring her to that, and then started looking around.
It's starting to make sense. Yeah, it's starting to come together.
Right on, man.
So then my wife has the youngest two working on something. A project that we will talk about at some point in the future, but I can't talk about it right now.
One of those NDA things?
Yes.
Oh, you've already said too much.
But it is content that will be relevant to the show.
Already said too much. Next up, you can catch him chroming or feeding the algorithm. It's John Rodriguez. How are you, man?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Doing well. Doing good. Good.
I
see what you did there.
Good.
That was awesome.
How was your week?
Pretty good. Working on regular work's been a little slow, so it's given me a chance to work on the heavy helmets that I've been painting, that I'm going to be painting for the rest of my life probably, because the end is nowhere in sight. But yeah, and I've been messing with the printer. I don't know if I mentioned it last. I probably didn't mention it last because I hadn't even done the transaction yet. But I ordered another printer. Well, I didn't order it. A buddy of mine was selling his spare, and I.
You don't even have room. For that.
I swooped up. I don't. I was like trying to see like what can I move? What can I I showed Raimi. I'm like, I think it's going to go here, but I have to turn it
Yeah.
because there's not enough
It's got to go
space.
sideways because it's like the size of an
Yeah.
appliance. So
And it's actually better if it's sideways because I have the morning sun coming in and it hits right in front, whatever. So, but yeah, I'm excited about that. That just means double the large format printing capabilities. So yeah.
You could always get rid of one of the small ones, right?
Well, I already got rid of one of my Mono X's because I had 2 Mono X's. And I mean, I still have it in my garage, like it's sitting there, but I sold it to Sam from Imperial Surface. But yeah, I think on Monday I'm actually taking it to him. So yeah, but 2 of those big ones is fine, and I have 2. I have another small one and a medium one, so I have all the ranges checked out until I can afford a bigger one for full helmet. We'll see one day.
you need the big curing station now.
Yeah. I might need to just build a big curing station because, yeah.
Just a life-size one so you can get in there and hold all your
So
stuff
I can walk
together.
in with the armor on, just
Yeah.
roast.
That's called
Yeah.
a tanning booth.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and my kid, she likes to go down. She always asks me, "Is the printer done, Daddy? Can we go see?" I'm like, "Oh, let's go see," because it's always something new. She thinks it's the same print that's been running for like ever. And she sees the purple lights, and I'm like, "Those are UV lights, whatever." And she's like, "I want UV lights in my room." I'm like, you just want purple lights. You don't want UV light.
LED strip, dude. $20.
Yeah.
Hook her up.
She's stoked. No, we already have the purple lights in there. She's crazy. I'm like, you have
Get her
purple
a
lights.
black light.
She just never
Get her a
turns them on.
black light.
Yeah, get her a black light.
Yeah, that's
With some
true.
glow-in-the-dark stars.
Little
Oh,
stickers
man.
on the ceiling or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, everything's good though. Thank you.
good. Family's good. Sounds like Work's
Family's good.
How many?
Yeah.
How many of those? How many of those helmets do you need to finish?
Well, the total is 54 from the whole run, and I'm only on number. I've finished 10, and I have the next 5. So
Oof,
I'm on 15. Let's say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how long does it take to do each one? Like, if I know you do a bunch of things at the same time, but like, if you were to just do one start to finish, what would it take?
Well, I like base coat one day. I give it an extra day to dry. Then I do the cheeks, give that an extra day to dry. Then I do the grays, like the gray, I guess, highlights. And that takes a day to dry. Then I do the black washing, let that dry. So it's like, that's like 4 or 5 days right there. Plus, after that, after the black washing, it's just the silver detail. So it's probably a week. Give it a week for each one.
Wow.
But I do them in batches, so I try to do like 2 at a time or 3 at a time. I have all 5 there, but for the detailed stuff, I'll take 2 upstairs and like slowly paint them and stuff. And,
And you can't rush that stuff because it's like it's art.
it's a lot of hand painting too. Yeah. It's not something you can rush, but I do have like not a deadline, but like a soft deadline that I can't take forever. So yeah, so it's
Well, get on it, man.
yeah. Get to work, right?
And finally, back from fulfilling his dadily duties, it's Brian Cook. How are you?
Takes a
man?
sip.
I'm back. Feels like forever. Every time I listen to the podcast, I've been like traveling and driving for 2 weeks. It feels like, and I've been listening to the pod, and it's after the first one, I was like, okay, yeah, I missed that one. And like the second one, I'm like, okay, yeah, I missed that one. This is weird. But yeah,
Was it weird listening to us, like not knowing what we were gonna say?
A little bit. I mean, I'm still in the text group, so it was like I think I saw.
Yeah, but
like,
you didn't
bits
know
and
crickets were
pieces,
gonna
but
play.
Yeah, the last episode was super funny. How you snuck in you're all, where's Brian? Just cricket sounds. That was pretty funny.
Chirping.
And then hey, it's being awesome is hard. You guys were close. You guys are saying being cool is hard. It's close. It's being
same
awesome.
thing.
Being
Come on.
awesome is hard. So heavy armor, you're gonna be hot. You want to be awesome. Comes at a price. You got to pay to play.
We'll put that on your new shirt for next year.
Yeah,
Being
exactly.
awesome is hard.
Being awesome is hard. Crosshair. But yeah, man,
Deal with
I'm
it.
back. I'm super excited.
How was your road
to be
trip?
here.
How's the family? How's the family? How are you?
Well, I went to California for a week for work. That was when we called in with Luke, Left Coast Avenger, who will not stop bugging me. He wants to be on the podcast, so he's gonna love that. I said that to him.
He's on the list. He's on the guest list.
I keep
there's a
telling him,
short list right now.
You're on the list. He's just been building like a madman, so I think he's been listening when he's building. But yeah, that was super fun. Got to spend a few days with him. I always love seeing him. And then straight from home, straight from California, landed at had flight delays. Like flying is just so not cool right now. Flight delays and all kinds of fun stuff, and didn't get home till 3 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and then pretty much had to wake up, work until I fell asleep again, and then woke up the next day and drove. And then I was driving for what felt like 5 days. I was just driving, showing, doing stuff for work, get back in the car, drive, work, drive, work, drive, work, drive. So did that for another 4 or 5 days. And then now I'm on the back half of that, with the administrative work, I'd like to call it. It's just computer work. And I'm have a grind of that this week. So into next week. And then like Raimi, it's that grind until next week. And then you're okay, done. So it's been wild. I'll say
all a good trip though.
It was, yeah. All the trips were good. California was cool. To see a bunch of guys I work with, like Luke, who are really good friends. And then the one cool thing is my big van had some issues, and we had to get a new truck. So I got a new truck, and then we couldn't get a shell in time when I got back from my trip, and I needed to carry all my stuff for work. So Tori, my wife, rented me a minivan for the trip, and it was a really nice minivan, all loaded up, and it had crazy cruise control that basically drove. I'm gonna sneeze.
While you sneeze, I was going to say, because you sent us a picture of you driving, and it looked like a van. I was like, what? Didn't realize, because you had sold it or something. Yeah.
I'm not going to sneeze. Yeah, no, the van's gone. Traded in. Right. It's over. But this minivan we rented, it was a Toyota Sienna or something, but it had this awesome cruise control where it would keep you in the lane. So it literally drove, but you had to keep your hand on the wheel. So it's not like a Tesla where you can play Scrabble or something, but you just had to keep so I just sit, just kind of like Han Solo, just chilling like this, and it would just drive. So it made, the 3 days I was driving so nice. So it's kind of cool. Technology is cool.
Right on, man.
I think that's it.
Yeah, I had one of those in my car. It's that lane assist.
Mine has it too.
Yeah.
My new truck has it, but it just beeps.
Wake up when you get home.
It doesn't nudge you back in?
No, not my truck, no. But the minivan did. Yeah. When you were in cruise control. It was cool.
Do you think spaceships have keys?
They're unlocked at all times.
So anyone could just take anyone's spaceship?
Push the button.
Thumbprint. Eye scan.
Yeah. That sounds more realistic.
Dice.
Not
my
a
wife's
key.
car. My wife's car, you don't need a key. You just need your phone. It's programmed to it. You just kind of walk in there.
So if you forget your phone.
So if someone took her phone.
Is there a space phone that people have?
It's possible. Yeah, maybe. They might have little modules that they have to click, click, to beep on it or something.
Maybe it's that little communicator disc that does the hologram and Obi-Wan's hands. It's got Cody. Or the clones have her, Palpatine execute Order 66. It's one of those. If you got that in your pocket, the ship will just unlock.
It's like a key fob.
Yeah.
Sure.
So did Lando give Han Solo the key fob? Was there a pink slip?
Did he have it registered? Right.
We're betting for pinks.
I don't know. I'm just asking because I want that. If there's a key fob or a key or something, I want that.
The
Put it on my
Millennium
keychain or
Falcon
something.
pink slip. That would be cool.
I feel like it does like
Frame
a
that.
body DNA scan on you when you walk in.
It probably has nothing, dude. You probably just push the button and the door opens, and then you push,
Yeah.
start, and it starts. That's what I imagine.
That's why there's so many pirates in the Star Wars galaxy.
You just take your ship, right?
Yeah. We need to call
They're going to
Hondo.
take your eye with it.
Hondo Anaka. He probably knows. Hello, my friends.
Well, thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. If you'd like to interact with us more, follow us at the Dad Batch Pod on Instagram and check us out for our new merch on thedadbatch.com. Gentlemen, let's go ahead and get into this little thing right here.
This garbage is nothing like clone armor.
Looks a little tight on you, old man.
Yeah, at least I know how to wear it.
That's right, everybody. It's time for the weekly workbench. All right, guys, who is working on what?
I mean, I've been gone for 2 weeks, so I did just build a little shelf for shoes for in my front room. That's it. Nice. I got nothing. Sorry.
I resin printed a Leviathan axe from God of War. If you're on the YouTube, you can see it.
It's really cool.
It's pretty
And
neat.
cute.
Yeah. It's like solid resin, so it's feels like a real axe. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it well enough, but
I'm just waiting for Brian to make a Stormbreaker reference here. Come on.
I just called it cute. I said it was cute.
Yeah.
It's also really cool. So I don't want to rip on it too bad because it is awesome.
It is cool. I've seen this in person and it looks great. The wood grain on the handle and everything, like, it's so cool.
I mean, I had some issues like I usually do, but overall it came out pretty cool. So I'm pretty stoked on that. And I'm also with Rami. We're each working on. Well, I'm working on my helmet for my Thomas helmet from Daft Punk, and all I did was get the ears to fit in, and that's it. I haven't touched it since that. And we printed the hand pieces, right? Thank you, Rami, for those files. And I haven't touched those either. They're still sitting on supports.
What have you been doing? Jeez.
Yeah.
No, I mean, he's doing himself a favor by leaving those on the supports. So
Yeah, they're yeah. Go ahead.
Are you done with your list?
Yeah,
John?
okay.
Okay.
You're gonna talk about the same thing. Yeah.
I got like it's like a box of chiclets just exploded on my desk here, just like all of these little individually
pieces,
numbered, like, 3 segments for every finger, 2 hand. Like, it's just a mess of these little, and they're all different. And there's a left and a right, and every single piece is different. So I started taking them off the supports and realized, oh crap, I got to keep track of these things. So I started labeling them as I was going, and then of course they're going to get painted over, so I'm going to have to go relabel all of them again. But yeah, and I got to figure out how to put it all together. But I got a pair of opera gloves, and I'll figure out how to get all the pieces attached after they've been chromed.
Attaching those to a glove is tough.
Yeah, because it's got to bend.
Put it on a mannequin hand, and then you can, individually glue them.
When I was building that Iron Man, I was like struggling with how to do all that stuff. The Iron Man's different because it's like a full like finger piece, where these are just like it's just a top part, right?
It's like a Phasma style top.
Yeah.
Topper.
Yeah, they're all just it's like they're almost like fake fingernails.
Yeah.
Every single little segment.
Like
Your buddy
E6000?
Rogue Gallery Fitness or Rogue Gallery Cosplay. You got to hit him up for that because he's got all those Iron Man suits.
Yeah. How to do the fingers? Yeah.
For the hands, yeah.
Sizing it was the hardest part, but I don't know. Raymond, can you E6000 those on there? Maybe I don't know. Opera glove.
So I will. So it's similar to the Echo Protocol Droid hand that we haven't actually seen in the show yet. But the one that I made for that, I used a brown opera glove, and then you got to put like a pair of rubber gloves on and then put your hand in, and then you can glue the pieces to the fingers.
Yeah.
Because otherwise the glue will go through and you will have glued the glove onto your hand.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, if you do that, then you can kind of get it all glued together and it'll hold.
You know what, too? There is a flexible CA glue that I learned about that I used on Spider-Man, like face shell, like gluing the thing to the face shell. It's a Loctite brand, and it's a special number. I'll look it up and see if I can send it to you. I've used it on a few different things, but it's flexible. You have to like buy it from like a it's not like Amazon or anything. It's like a special Loctite. Yeah.
It doesn't dry as fast, but like barge cement would be probably good too, because it stays rubbery.
And this glues quick. So I learned from a dude that makes Spider-Man stuff, and it was like how to get the skin, the fabric like attached to the face shell, and it's this special glue, or around the eyes, right? Because the Spider-Man face shell is like a plastic shell, and then the hood goes over it, and then you glue it
the magnet
to and then the eye rings go over it, and it's this glue, so it's flexible, so it can kind of give just a little bit, and then it dries quick too. So I'll find that stuff.
Cool.
You got to keep it in the refrigerator. Fun fact.
Also working on the other Daft Punk helmet.
Those are cool
to match. So I feel like I cut more of this helmet off than what's left on it, because it's all the version. Mine is like it's all visor. So
yours is gold.
This is, and mine will get painted gold. Yeah. So
that's right.
So I'm
gonna get all
Chrome and go drop it off.
Well, I am going to take it to Chrome and go and drop it off, but he's like, as his microphone can attest to, he knows how to do gold too. So,
well, it'll look better than this. This was like a 1 day rush thing.
What are you going to use
when we were doing it?
John?
I'll probably use a Lumoluster and then the Lost City Gold, but I'm going to use my spray gun because it kind of gives it like some super even coats rather than trying to use the airbrush.
Especially,
and then you got to gloss it again. Yeah. But after you put the gold, you gloss it, and then it looks good. Not before.
And I'll have to bring you the glove pieces too, because those are gold as well. So.
Yep.
But I've got the jacket. I've got the suit jacket that goes with it, and it's so good.
Yeah, I gotta get on that.
It was the piece I was the most nervous about, but it came. I was like, oh, thank goodness, it's amazing.
Did you get the medium after all?
I did.
You're going to want to well.
You're a little bit bigger than me. You're going to want to get the large.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was curious about.
What are you guys doing with these costumes?
Amazing awesomeness stuff.
Being awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, is it for like a specific event or?
Nope. No plans. Just
we build it because we can, Stephen.
Yeah. Raimi was really passionate about just doing them, and we haven't even talked about where we're going to wear them or why we're building it. We'll
get some pictures taken, and we'll make an appearance somewhere with them.
We'll figure it out.
We'll go to a con for an hour or two. They'll like go to a troop, and then like all of a sudden Daft Punk comes out.
They just show up.
Tempt us with a good time.
Hey, it's not a bad idea.
Man, I wish we had these for that thing that we did on the 29th. Can you imagine?
That would have been crazy. Yeah, that would have been really cool, and I'm sure the organizers would have been stoked on it too. If you told them,
WonderCon's coming up. Those tickets went on sale.
Oh yeah,
I actually got WonderCon. I got one WonderCon ticket for myself so far. I got to figure out
days?
if any of the kids are coming. I did, yeah, because it's so far out. I have no idea what my schedule is going to be like, and I didn't want to take a chance.
Are any of you going to LACC? Well, not Brian, but any of you two? No,
I don't know the answer to that. Maybe.
Okay,
I'll let you know.
I got a Saturday ticket. Yeah, I'm not used to going back to cons yet, but I got a Saturday ticket for that.
I've got that as of right now. I've got that Festival of Lights parade in Palm Springs on that day, and but although there's only like 5 people signed up for this thing, so who knows if we'll even do it? It's not enough for a parade.
Dang.
Right.
Oh, Raimi, I was going to ask you, how did your appearance go at the convention?
It went good. So we had a couple of local guys from the 501st out in Channel Islands. They came up. So we had a Vader that was walking around for a couple hours before my panel. And then the panel went off like a charm. So it was great. There were 3 other hosts. One of them was a stand-up comedian, and then the other 2 run like a mini horror film festival. And so it was an eclectic group, but it was good. Yeah, it was a good event.
Did you get asked any weird questions?
I don't remember at this point. It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's
I was
right.
ready to talk about it last week, and then we didn't talk about it. So, it did seem like I got more questions than the other hosts, which was interesting. So,
Because you do cool stuff.
Cool stuff.
Did they mostly ask you about costuming stuff or podcast stuff?
Most of it was costuming stuff, but because I was representing both the Legion and the podcast, I always tried to find a way to bring it back around so that we were equal representation of both.
Very cool.
So, and the theme of the panel was building fandoms and followers. So, we talked about kind of
both.
Yeah, and how different they are.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's funny when they ask the questions like, well, how do you build your follower or your fandom? And I asked when it came to me, I'm like, okay, who here has show of hands? Who has never heard of Star Wars before? And of course, nobody raised their hand. I'm like, it's easy to build a follower or build a brand when you walk into one that's already got like instant name recognition. So,
yeah, right. Our base was already built.
Yeah,
yeah,
it was done for us.
What about you? What are you working on?
So working on these home documents. I thought,
Congratulations.
Thanks. Well, I don't want to.
I missed that announcement.
Yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was last week.
It's still in the process, so
That is true.
But
it's not over till it's over.
Yeah, when we were buying this place, it's like I'm not counting my chickens until someone drops a set of keys in my hand.
That's right. So I'm doing that. Thank you, John, for that PlayStation. Man, that thing
My pleasure.
was
Dusty?
yeah.
Or it came in clutch? Or both?
Both, yeah. Sure. But yeah, when Raimi handed it to me last weekend, I was just like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. I mean, I told you, it works, but it's very dirty, and you're gonna have to clean it a bit. And I was like, probably just a little bit, and turned out it was super dusty.
Dude, yeah. So thankfully I had the full iFixit toolkit, so I was able to utilize like every piece that I needed to take that thing apart. And I took it down to like literally the bare pieces. So like the motherboard.
Yeah, I saw that.
Down to everything. And it was cool. So I had like the alcohol swabs, cleaning the motherboard out with a brush and everything, and rinsed out the plastic housing, which was funny because somebody commented on the post that I made about cleaning it that you need to Chrome it now. So I'm looking at you, John.
Oh, you know
30
what?
minutes or less, dude.
That's not a no. That's. I mean, on the PS4 it might be a little harder because it's one solid piece, but the PS5 has those panels that you can just pop off.
I'll dismantle the whole thing and then just send you the plastic pieces. The plastic shell.
Okay, that's fine.
So I cleaned it all up, and then it kind of just sat there, and my kid was asking me the whole time, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? He was so like intrigued about like seeing all these computer parts and components just like sprawled out everywhere on the kitchen table. And I just told him, "Oh, I'm just fixing a computer for Raimi." And he was like, "Oh, okay." And he stopped asking questions after that.
So innocent, poor kid.
Yeah.
Didn't even realize Daddy's making his PlayStation.
And then so this was all set up in plan because I ordered on Amazon. I had pre-ordered him the Ghostbusters game for PlayStation and the new Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed. And so he had his very first parent-teacher conference for kindergarten, right? And so my plan was like, if he gets a good report, because I know he talks a lot. He's very, concerned about being Mr. Popular and making friends and just being that kid, So if the report came back that he, made all those improvements in class and did well, he was going to get the PlayStation. I was going to surprise him with the video game. And then if not, then we were just going to wait till Christmas or his
Just
birthday.
save it. Yeah.
Thankfully, he did fantastic. He's like one of the top kids in there and just made me proud. So when we came home, he got a surprise. He got the PlayStation. I gave him the game first. And then he was like, oh, this is the new one. And I was like, yeah, but it's for PlayStation. And then he was just like instantly bummed, like, I don't have a PlayStation, Dad. And I was like, well, remember that computer I fixed for Raimi? And he's like, yeah. I was like, well, Daddy's friend Hunter from the Dad Batch, he's giving you a PlayStation and it's right over there. And he looked over at it and he was just like, oh. And the first thing he did was put a Dad Batch sticker on it.
Oh,
Nice.
that's awesome.
As one should.
Good. So that he played that game for quite a few hours and then got frustrated and threw the controller down.
Yeah, that's okay.
So.
That happens.
And then did you take it and play it for a few hours? How is it? How is the game?
I was gonna
It's
ask you,
good.
yeah, how's it?
It's good. I'm not at the part yet where you can play as a ghost. But what was really cool was as soon as I loaded my character in the game, his name tag on the Ghostbuster uniform says Stevie Kicks. I was like,
cool.
what?
That's pretty sweet.
So, yeah, I got to go back and make him look like me now. But the mechanics are good. Catch ghosts in there, shoot the trap.
Is it like build your own character type thing?
Yeah, it's fully customizable characters. It kind of takes place right after Afterlife. So Winston's rebuilding the firehouse. And
Oh wow. It's like telling the story.
Yeah, it's
Following
really cool.
the story.
Have you come across the Keymaster yet or no?
No.
Or the Gatekeeper?
We're not that far into it. What's really cool though is that they moved Ray's bookstore next door to the firehouse. So there's a little alleyway that connects the two of them. It's pretty neat.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right.
As far as building stuff, not really building anything, more like packing up.
It's gonna get
It'd
fun.
be like that sometimes. Yeah.
But y'all are moving far, right?
Just down the street.
If I heard
But
if I heard it. Those are the worst because
still-
you just end up taking 5 million trips back and forth.
Yeah. I'm
It's not that
worried,
bad, though.
not worried, but my main concern is moving my printers and moving my costumes and, just moving all my personal stuff. I'm already thinking okay, one truckload is just going to be moving all my printers, all the delicate things that no one can touch other than me.
You're like, yeah,
So-
I'll load these.
Yeah. But other than that, yeah, not working on much right now. Yeah.
Cool.
Sweet.
Oh, we have
And Joe's
we have
working
something
on?
coming in.
Getting better.
Yeah, Joe's working on himself right now. Joe's sick, just like me. I'm coming down with a cold right now. But we do
Kids
have
in
something
school.
coming in.
Oh,
We're being hailed. This encryption's new. This might take a while.
Okay, so Disney is on November 23rd, 24th, 25th, and then and beyond. They're running the first 2 episodes of Andor on ABC, FX, Freeform, and Hulu. So if you don't have Disney Plus and you want to get a taste of the awesomeness that is the show Andor that we've been talking about it pretty much every week, you can, if you've got ABC, I mean, everybody can pick that up, pair of rabbit ears on November 23rd. You'll be able to watch that at 9 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. It'll be on. And then again, the first 2 episodes. The next day it'll be on FX. Day after that, Freeform. And then from the 23rd all the way through December 7th, it'll be available on Hulu. Obviously, all Disney properties. So, but they're giving people that don't have Disney Plus a chance to see what the show's about.
I heard that they're doing that because the last, not this episode, but the one before that, had low viewership numbers.
Yeah, I had heard the same thing. I hadn't heard any official Nielsen numbers, but it does sound like for that episode and more recently that they're starting to get Nielsen numbers in, and the show hasn't had the same viewership as others. But we kind of talked about this before. There's so much competing with this show for our attention. I mean, just all the things that we talk about between, Rings of Power and Game of Thrones and just all of the shows that are geared towards, fans of
nerds.
Star Wars and nerds in general.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a lot of other stuff going on. And the thing that's, I think people are figuring out, like, I don't have to watch it the day that it comes out. It's going to be there forever. I can come, maybe in December, I'm going to sit down and I'll watch through the whole thing. So they'll pick up those numbers over time.
That was, I had a friend that I know through work that loves Star Wars stuff. And she was like, I watched the first episode and I'm just going to wait until Christmas vacation and I'm just going to sit and watch them like all in a row.
Through it.
But then there's also too, I think there's like more casual fans that really like Star Wars and they don't quite understand what it is if they haven't watched it yet. And it's not lightsabers and, the Force and
they don't understand it's a rogue
out of Star Wars.
Rogue One connection.
I've been encouraging people I know like that to watch it, and they generally come back to me and say, "Oh my gosh, you're so right." It's it's an intellectual Star Wars.
It's a drama.
The volume up, and you got to hear what they're talking about, and this quiet conversations are like it's super important. So,
yeah. Okay, so moving on. There's a couple of really good articles on the Hollywood Reporter lately, and I'm not gonna like bleed these articles dry and read them verbatim, but there's a couple details. So go out there and check out. There's an article titled "Andor creator Tony Gilroy talks Luthen Rail's future and being surprised by certain Easter eggs," and obviously talks about. I mean, Luthen's every time Luthen opens his mouth, it's just epic. So obviously gets into that. He talks about how also in the headline talks about how there's Easter eggs that make it in there, and that's really not his thing. He's not looking for every opportunity to just cram fan service down our throats, but there's so many people involved in the production, it's easy for stuff to get snuck in there, and so he gets surprised by some of the things that he finds out, like all the stuff that's in Luthen's shop and all the significance that has to us when they're filming it. He doesn't realize what all these things are. He's just like, set decor just did their thing. And that's what's there. And then he finds out later, it's like, Pablo Hidalgo snuck that in there and so on. So he kind of rolls his eyes, but he laughs.
That's cool.
But there was a couple details here that I thought were particularly interesting. So one of the questions that they asked him, he said, "I can't swim is such a heroically tragic moment since Kino Andy Serkis led his fellow prisoners to freedom, knowing full well that he wasn't going to make it out. Do you presume Kino was executed shortly thereafter?" And Tony Gilroy's answer is interesting. So he says, "I don't know. He's not dead. Is he dead? I didn't see him die in the episode." So that coupled with some other stuff that I think were that I've got here, I think it's very much a nod that just and anybody that watches Star Wars knows if you don't see them die, and heck, half the people that you do see die still come back in some way, shape, or form.
That is true. I mean, he comes back as Snoke, so that's later on.
Yeah, all we saw was Snoke's origin story.
Right.
Yeah, it's a Snoke origin story.
Yeah, he drowns and comes back as Snoke.
Yeah.
I still like the theory that it shows it's like they morph Snoke and then the kid that's like the broom kid at the end of the Last Jedi.
Master Skywalker, there's too many of them. What are we going to do?
So another question here, and this one sent me onto another article. So there's some good cross posting between these articles. So people continue to speculate about what they're building on Narkina 5. And until I spoke with Andy Serkis recently, I thought the answer didn't really matter. So what can you say about those building blocks? So before I read Tony's answer, I'm going to jump over to the Andy. There's a link here on Andy Serkis's name, and it jumps over to an interview that they did with him. And they said, so people are so consumed with what they're building, but does it even matter ultimately? And Andy Serkis says, well, it does matter because what they're building, because it's significant. For those who are really watching closely, the parts are quite significant. If you really examine those bits that are being formed and created by all the men on the floors, you'll discover that they hold huge importance. So we talked about this a little bit last week, and we were kind of, I think, I heard about the theory that they were building the dish on the Death Star. Now, I mean, they would obviously have to exaggerate the details because it wouldn't that dish is so big in real life that any curvature that's there would be completely flat. So we see these things that have like curvature to them that obviously wouldn't, but they would over exaggerate that detail. So maybe it is, but it does. If we get back to Tony Gilroy's answer to the original question, he says, well, what they're building is season 2. It's the spine of season 2. I've heard all kinds of things. It's great. All the material the Empire has. Look at everything. Like economically, how does this work? Who built Scarif? How do you build that? How do you build Edu? How do you build the Death Star and this armada of ships? There's lots of things that need to be built. And there's an incredible amount of material. So to me, what they're building is not as important as the scale of it. So but between both answers, it sounds like we will actually eventually get an explanation of what it is that they're building, but it's almost less important than just the fact that what they're trying to show is that they're building a ridiculous number of these things because the scale is something that we can't even wrap our heads around.
They're building the Empire, right? And
there's got to be more prisons building more pieces from other parts of things.
Yeah, how many floors were even in Narkina 5? I mean, just all of them.
That whole man, I missed y'all talking about that, but dude, that whole episode with them bailing that thing was so. I love this show. It's so good.
It's good, yeah.
So, has anybody had a chance to watch that Studio Ghibli short that they released? So they kind of sprung this thing on us. They released a little sketch and it showed a little cartoon Grogu, and anybody that's watched any of the Studio Ghibli or Hayao Miyazaki animation, like these they call them in the other stuff, they call them soot sprites, but they call them dust bunnies in this, which is the same visual.
They look like COVIDs.
They do, but they way predate that. So anything that Studio Ghibli's ever done is amazing, and I highly recommend going and watching. Honestly, all of that stuff's on Disney Plus, I think. So
it's a little animated short.
This is Zen Grogu and the Dust Bunnies. It's like a minute and a half. That's it.
Oh,
and it's just
cool.
It's just cute animation.
Cool.
It looks like it's kind of hand drawn, and the animation's sort of jittery, but it's Grogu and these little creatures. So,
I mean, if it's got Grogu in it, it's adorable factors through the roof.
It's got to be cute. Yeah.
So check it out, and then go watch pretty much anything that's a Studio Ghibli film that's on, like Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle. Even the books for those were great. So, some other interesting little news. Dave Filoni and Kathleen Kennedy were doing some meetings over in Japan, and they actually had a very specific meeting with the crew that created the Visions episode, The Ninth Jedi. So no context as far as what that was about. It could be something as simple as just they're going to be working on something for the second season of Visions, which we know is in the works.
Oh, they're doing that?
But
cool.
it's also possible that they will be more involved in something else that we don't know about yet. So, which that episode was cool. And I felt like it was one of the more developed episodes that they had in there. So it'll be interesting to see what they do.
I didn't know they were doing Visions again. That's cool.
Yeah,
I should listen to your news.
They've confirmed. I don't know that we've talked about it, but they had confirmed that they're working on another batch of shorts for that. So
sweet.
And then the only other thing I have is a piece of non Star Wars news, but buckets off to Kevin Conroy, longtime voice of Batman, who died at the too young age of 66.
Yeah,
so, but
that's
he was
a
the
bummer.
voice of Batman for 30 years. He
animated
is the
series.
voice of Batman to go along with Mark Hamill's Joker.
Yep.
So
Yeah, he'd done a bunch of stuff
That's-
too, video games and
yeah.
animated movies and the show. I remember him from the show. I used to watch that show when I was a kid.
Yep.
Bummer. R.I.P.
There was a one of the more recent Arkham games where it was rumored that he was not going to be the voice anymore of Batman. And then lo and behold, he was. And then when they had the Joker in the game, lo and behold, it was Mark Hamill. And they both said in their press junkets and all that stuff, they both said to the press that Kevin said that he will continue to play the voice of Batman for as long as Mark Hamill will play the Joker. And Mark Hamill said the same thing about Kevin. So I was just like, man, those two guys.
But so did Mark retire from being the Joker then?
I think
Since
I think it's safe to say, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, he was pretty
Bummer.
he was pretty firm that he's only going to continue to be Joker if Kevin was going to be his Batman.
And Mark Hamill did post on his socials some pretty emotional stuff about his experience with Kevin. So I would bet that's true. I had the chance to hear Mark Hamill do, like, he would just launch. You can trick him into launching into his voices if you know. And he launched into the monologue from The Killing Joke, just in the voice and everything. It'll give you goosebumps.
That's cool.
That is it for the news.
Oh, and then don't forget the Bad Batch season 2 trailer dropping. What is it, next week or
On Thanksgiving Day? That's
on
that's
Thanksgiving
the rumor we're starting, right? Yeah.
Oh, we're starting. it.
Yeah,
Me
we're
told.
starting the rumor. But you heard it here first.
Got it.
I was like, wait, really? Yeah, nope.
No, I wanted to touch back though on some of that Andor stuff because I feel like season 2 of Andor is just going to be like so mind-blowingly like insane compared to season 1. Because I feel like season 1 they knew that I feel like they knew they wanted to tell the story of Andor and the supporting characters, right? Which is why they said that this season spans 1 year, which is kind of cheating because like he spent like how long in jail, and they like did like a time jump, right?
Yeah, it's like months.
Yeah.
But you know that's why like season 1 it's got the 3 episode arcs, and I feel like showing just the first 2 episodes on those other stations is not enough, because I mean when we were watching the first 3 episodes together,
You wanted more.
I mean, I was like,
Yeah, I don't know
this could. How can you be like after that first episode? How it doesn't really draw you in. You know, you've got to watch the first 3 to get it.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they're going to just like expect to draw people in with the first 2, when typically the second act in these 3 act.
You hear
arcs
that,
is kinda
Disney?
like,
You got to hire Steven.
it's kind of like the lull. You know,
They're doing the first
Yeah,
2
you're
episodes.
right.
Is that what they're doing?
The first 2. Just the 2. Yeah, not the third.
I mean, the first one could rope you in. I don't know. Or it's either going to meet or exceed expectations. It's just like I said, either you're going to watch it and go, oh, there's not like lightsabers and this and that, like you can be over it, or
Or you're going to love
that's
it.
a tough one. I mean, the whole show is it's a ride. It's a journey. It's not just,
It's a
wham
it's a
bam.
jog,
It's
not a sprint.
yeah, marathon. It's a marathon.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah,
but then I feel
Yeah,
like season
it's
2. I feel like season 2, because they have to cover 4 years in season 2. Those 3 episode arcs are just going to be like hitting every single episode.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm excited about that or a little nervous about that, to be honest with you. Like, are we going to feel like it's rushed because we're really only getting 3 episodes that represent an entire year I mean, I guess it's just three. Those what would have been those 4 seasons, those 4 arcs will just be spread out across that time.
Right.
So I guess it could still work.
Trust the
But
process.
people keep asking Tony, like, why are you doing this why are you cramming it into one season when you could do 4 more? And he's like, because it takes us 2 years to make a season and we don't have that kind of time in our lives to do that. It's like, I want to get these stories. I want to tell this story. And this is the only way to get it done.
He could have done a movie.
Or 4.
I mean,
4.
Well, that's the beauty of these shows. They're literally like 3 or 4 movies for one season.
I mean, if you watch like a 3-episode arc, that's like almost 2 hours, right? It's like an hour 40.
Yeah, it's an hour.
Yeah.
Hour 20, hour 30. Yeah.
So they're essentially making like 4 or 5 movies every year.
Because if you cut out,
value is
if you
also
cut
high.
out the like previews and recaps and everything, the episodes are like just shy of 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I know that because I got the
Did you
timing.
guys get a chance to watch the Obi-Wan series recut that somebody did, where they shortened the whole season down to like a 2-hour thing? I watched
People
it.
do that? Jeez, dude.
Yeah.
How do people have the time? That's so crazy.
Cut the
I think it's
excess.
mostly like film students, and they do it as like an editing exercise.
Sure. Yeah.
But
yeah.
Like
yeah,
make it better and shorter.
yeah. So like I watched it. It was pretty good. They cut out a lot of the Inquisitors. They cut out a lot of like the Tatooine stuff. But they basically made the Kenobi season into a 2.5-hour movie, and it still was good. So
It cut out
That's
the
cool.
excess.
I like the concept.
Unnecessary. Cool.
cool. Well, thank you, Raimi, for the news.
Any more inside? Sweetheart, it's okay. It's all right. No. Everything's okay now. Here's your daddy. Boy, is he grown. It's okay, everybody. He's gone. How are you? Mom! It's wonderful. Well, huh? Your son's been doing you proud. Saved my tail more than a couple times. Well, I'd love to, but I can't. I gotta get back to the Falcon before somebody stumbles across it. Hey, will you look at Lumpy? He's sure grown, huh? I think his voice is changing. Come on, I'm just teasing. Well, look. I gotta go. Have a nice life day, but be careful. A lot of troopers in the area. Chewie, check and see if the coast is clear, will you? You're like family to me. Enough. Bye. Okay, pal? Bye, everybody. Pal? Be careful. Be looking for him. Take care.
this is going to be our Dad Batch holiday special. You might have seen some of the posts that we have on our socials, but to tell you a little bit more about it, we have Echo. Go ahead, take it away, Ramey.
Okay, so it's, as Steven mentioned, and in case anybody's watching the video, we're all wearing our Life Day robes, or at least I'm wearing a Life Day robe because I happen to have a red robe for other reasons. But we're all dressed in red, or at least in holiday special attire for the occasion. So it's the Dad Batch holiday special Chrome-tono raffle benefiting the National Down Syndrome Society. So over 5,000 children are born every year with Down syndrome in just the U.S. alone. The National Down Syndrome Society, or NDSS, is the leading human rights organization for all individuals with Down syndrome and strives for a world in which all people with Down syndrome have the opportunity to enhance their quality of life and realize their dreams. So many of our listeners are probably familiar with the Galvin family. We had one on here a couple of weeks ago. And our dearest friend, Indy Speeder, who lives her best life every day showing the world that Down syndrome will never get in her way. So to help Indy show the world that Down syndrome will not define her, from Life Day, November 17th, which should be the day this episode comes out, through Christmas Day, December 25th, the team from the Dad Batch podcast will be adding new items every week to our exclusive Chrome-tono, which we will be raffling off in a special episode to be released on Christmas Day. So listen in every week to hear what else we'll be adding to the Chrome-tono to sweeten the deal. Don't worry, we fully expect it will be overflowing with loot, but that's not going to stop us from adding to the pile. So don't think of it in terms of like what will fit in a Chrome-tono. It's going to be more than that. Every dollar you donate to NDSS through this special page that we're going to publish out, that we've set up a campaign page through them, every dollar you donate will basically get you one entry to the raffle. If you can only afford to donate $1, that's okay. You're still a rock star in our eyes, and you're still in the running with that one entry. Want to reach for the stars and donate $100 or more to up your chances? We'll be your best friends forever, and you'll have 100 or more chances to win, and so on. So, we hope that you'll join us in helping out our amazing friend Indy in celebrating the holidays from Life Day through Christmas as we help raise money for a fantastic cause that's near and dear to our hearts.
I kind of want to win the Chrome-tono. Like, are we allowed to?
I have it right now. I'm going to take some pictures with it. Like,
are we allowed to enter?
And I'll give it.
Have you chromed it yet?
Yeah, it's done.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I showed you guys.
30 minutes, dude. 30 minutes or less.
30 minutes or less, baby. No. Yeah, I chromed it a couple weeks, or maybe 3 weeks ago now. It's wrapped in plastic. It's just hanging out. No, the inside's going to stay the same. No, the inside is.
Are we keeping it shiny?
Beautiful.
Like shiny, like it's crisp, like it's straight off the line.
It's chromed, yeah. There's nothing. I chromed it, and then you're muted, buddy.
Oh no. Chrome-tono.
And of course, we want to thank our sponsors, a couple of our sponsors for this.
Oh.
A lot of the pieces that we're going to be donating are printed by us.
Oh yeah.
Using Frozen 3D's resin in various resins that they've donated. And then we also want to thank our other sponsor for this, Imperial Surface, because your Chrome-tono that you will win is not just spray painted with chrome; it's painted with Alumoluster.
Not only that, the winner of the prizes will get a I think it's a quart. Not a quart. Is it a quart? No. They're going to get a little pint. No, yeah, it's not a quart. It's the smaller bottle. It's like the
yeah.
I don't even know. Whatever. Yeah, Sam's going to donate one of those bottles, so the winner can spray some of their own Alumoluster if they want.
Winner's also going to get a kilogram bottle of frozen resin.
Nice.
In the Chrome-tono.
So resin.
I will teach you how to use that to
Alumoluster.
Coat prints if you need help. If you don't have a resin.
Do not say that.
I think I'm going to fill it.
I think
behavior. My contribution is going to be thermal detonators.
Fill the seams with resin. Okay.
Not ones with the light in it. Like
I think that one's famous enough. I think that should be one of the ones that goes in there.
I can put one in and then like a correct one. I think that's what I'm going to make though, is thermal detonators and fill it with thermal detonators.
Be sure to
throwing in the
follow us on our
Liberator
Instagram
as
page
well.
to see what else we're going to be donating in there.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
That's right. Yep, all of us will be contributing to the Chrome-tono with various bits and pieces, and we'll be sharing that out on our socials between now and Christmas.
It's a good thing Joe's not here because I heard what he called the Chrome-tono.
Ooh, last week was something special.
I was
We won't
cracking
get
up on
into
my
it,
drive
though.
home.
Speaking of Joe, I think he said that he was going to be putting in the glasses, right? Some
The
tech
tech-
glasses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tech glasses, yep.
He printed those with the
Yeah.
frozen resin as well. Yeah.
Awesome.
that's so cool. We're gonna fill that thing with cool stuff.
It's going to be overflowed. Yeah. We're going to have to.
That's right.
I'm telling you, I think Ramy, you wrote it up nicely. Like I think there's gonna be more stuff that can fit inside that thing. I guaranteed.
Yeah, and stuff that just physically won't even fit in there too.
Yeah.
There's that too. Yeah,
It's more symbolic than practical.
That's
totally.
right.
Ramy,
This is gonna
where
be
can
fun.
people donate?
This is super cool.
Yeah, so we've got a special landing page that we got set up with NDSS. So if you go to www.ndss.org/dadbatch, that will take you to our special campaign page. You should see some pictures of Indy up there along with our holiday special logo. And if you find that, you are in the right place and you can make a donation. Like I said, they've got some predefined amounts that are set up there, but you can also change it to be any amount that you want. You can even set up a recurring donation if you'd like to do that, which would be amazing. And
Also,
we'll be sharing the progress of the campaign along the way, and we'll do the drawing, like I said, on Christmas Day.
And Ramy, important to mention that if people don't put their names, because there's a little box where you can be anonymous, don't click the anonymous box, because if you do, we won't be able to see if you entered the contest or whatever, how much you've donated. So if you want to be considered for the prizes, absolutely put your name in the prompt, whatever, in the thing, so we know who's who and who's donating.
That's right. Yeah. They're legally not able to share with us the names that are set to be anonymous. So if you wanted to do an anonymous donation, that's awesome. We appreciate it, but that won't get you an entry to the raffle.
You want to win that Chrome-tono.
I'm so glad that we decided to go with NDSS because, being in the 501st, we've worked for various charities to help. We've worked to help various charities with different, charity goals and stuff like that. But for this one, with Juan and his family, because they've actually, used NDSS and they belong to it. It hits home, So open your wallets, open your hearts, and donate.
Open your minds.
We should insert some of that. What's that music that's always playing during the is it the ASPCA? What's the musician? What's her name?
Sarah
In
McLachlan.
the eyes of the angel. The saddest, yeah.
For
Isolate
one
that.
penny.
And
1 penny can feed
Imagine.
a puppy.
But the folks at NDSS have been awesome to work with. I mean, I had a conference call with them earlier in the week, and they literally, I told her, I said, all right, I'll have all the details to you. So when you get to your computer in the morning, it'll be waiting for you. And there was 15 minutes from her replying to my first email and then saying it was done. So she got the campaign set up super fast, and
Nice.
they've been a pleasure to work with. And we'll get weekly updates from them every Wednesday before we record, so that we'll have the latest, greatest numbers that we can share with our listeners.
Since we have some time on this too, would be super cool to meet up with Indy with the Chrome-tono and get pictures of her with the Chrome-tono. That would be super sweet. That'd be good promotion for it, because we're doing this through the end of December, correct?
Yeah,
Christmas.
To Christmas.
Yeah,
right?
till
We
Christmas
got
Day.
time. That'd be super cool. Be awesome.
And I can hand off the Chrome-tono whenever, if someone wants to take it. I'm not sure where Indy's family lives, but if one of us is closer or not, whatever. We'll figure that out, I guess.
I think you're centrally located.
Me? I'm
Not
closer.
for me,
Okay.
but
Yeah, you're
No,
you're
no.
you're the closest one of us to them.
yeah,
Okay. Well,
You're the
we'll figure
collection
something
point.
out then.
send everything to
I
John.
am.
Sweet. I'm excited
All right,
about
guys.
this. This is fun.
We've got a mission. We've got a plan. Let's make it happen.
Republic, Empire. What's the difference?
Conversations with Crosshair.
I haven't heard that in a long
Hey,
time.
Brian.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. Good. I'm good. Good.
Okay.
That was my tribute to John right there.
Much obliged.
I'm psyched to be back on here. It's just so funny because I haven't been on in this couple weeks, and I was like, oh, what am I even going to talk about today? And then it's weird with Joe not being here too. So it's like, oh, this is off. And then I feel like we talked about all my traveling and stuff in the beginning, so I got to come up with something. And then I can't even talk about kind of really what I'll bring up, other than if you haven't seen the new Black Panther movie, like what are you doing? Really? John.
Has Raimi seen
You
it?
need to make
Don't
I
look at
haven't
me.
seen it. I haven't seen it.
I mean, I
See?
expected that of Raimi, but John, come on.
Did you see it, John?
Come on, dude. No, I haven't
seen
seen
it
it. No.
It's really good. So
Not yet.
if you have not seen
I'm waiting
Black
for the
Panther,
Disney Plus.
please go see it.
No, I'm just kidding. I'll see it. I'll see it.
Yeah,
soon.
you guys never go to the movies.
Not very often. No. Our kid is 3 years old.
Yeah, it's tough. I'm glad to be back here. That's all I really have to say, because I'm in such like a work mode right now that I just don't have really time to concentrate on anything else. Like I was basically just tied to my desk like all day today, and then I'm gonna be that way until like Monday. But yeah, I just haven't. I'm like kind of out of my normal routine right now. So it's that grind. It's no big deal. It's how the life that I live, and I have this like 3 times a year where I have these like month-long like grind of work, and then things kind of like taper down a little bit. But I liked staying in the loop on the group text with you guys, and this whole thing with the indie, I thought that was awesome. I can't even keep up. I haven't been able to keep up because I like look at the messages and they just go. I'm like, I can't go back and look at all that. What are we doing? Chrome-tono? Cool. Not what Joe said.
Yeah. Too long didn't read.
At least you pronounce it right.
I was laughing so hard at that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, man. I got a new truck and I love it. The family got a new truck. It's cool. We got it. Oh, there's a fun fact that I found out. I think I messaged you guys this. We got Levi an old truck because she's going to be 16 in January. And Tori's been on this kick where she's been watching the old Dukes of Hazzard show. And her truck is the same exact truck that Uncle Jesse had in Dukes of Hazzard. It's in 73 Ford F.
The kids are going to have to Google that.
Yeah, no one's
going to know what Dukes of Hazzard is.
What the hell's this? Yeah. Just look up Uncle Jesse.
Not
the
older
YouTube
show,
guy
so.
that does resin stuff.
Right.
Shout
and
out
not
to Uncle
John
Jesse.
Stamos either. Yeah.
There's 3 Uncle Jessies. Damn. That's nice.
That we know of.
That's sweet. Oh, that was really good. Yeah. That's it for me. I don't really have too much. I'm proud of John's axe. It is cool.
Oh, thank you. We'll compare axe sizes later.
Yours is probably heavier than mine.
Mine's
bigger.
definitely girthier. Yeah, for sure. Solid.
Where is this going?
What is he thinking about? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
I did.
Go on.
Dude, I did sign I found a troop for Tori and I to do at the end of December. It's just the weekends have not been able to line up to do any kind of troop, but there's a Hornets game, the Charlotte Hornets. It's like Star Wars night or something. I'm gonna be Darth Vader. So that's gonna be a fun one.
Nice.
Those
They
ones
went
are
back
always
to Charlotte?
entertaining. Yeah, they're the Hornets, right?
But
the Hornets.
The Hornets had left Charlotte. They went somewhere else, and then I think they redid the Hornets. Like it's a new
It's the Hornets.
Charlotte.
It's all
Hornets.
teal. It's cool.
Whatever. Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay.
Cool. I know you probably expect more out of me from being gone for a
Steven's
while.
face, dude. It's just...
Conversations with Crosshair, and you're like, wow, this guy ain't got nothing to say.
This is your time, buddy.
Oh,
This is your time. This is your time.
did you see that?
Yield my time.
Wait, Brian. Did you see in the
Yeah, go
in
ahead.
the convo that we had?
Yeah.
There's a sale on those printers. They're like super cheap.
I did. I don't have the money for that. I can't buy anything. I need to buy Crosshair, or else.
We're still doing that. Yeah.
Or else I'm going to be season 1 Crosshair while you guys are on season 2, and you guys are just going to look at me in shame. So I am on a spending
More than we do
freeze.
now. Oh,
I would love a bigger printer, but it's not happening. Luke is printing like a madman. In fact, right when we started, he's like, dude, I just can't stop printing. And he's just like printing all these little things. I'm like, yeah, it's the Greebly killer. So, and he got the bigger one. I FaceTimed him, walked him through it, got him set up on how to use it. Yeah, he got that one you were trying to get me to get, the 8K.
I should just ask him.
I think there's 3 different kinds of S's. Who's the expert here? No? His is 8K. I know that.
They're all
What is-
like
what is the
98% the
one?
same, but then just a little bit different. It's just enough to drive you crazy.
Yeah. It's the newer one.
He's
probably
literally just printing stuff like crazy. He's probably just got his little man cave is just going to have a pile of things that he's just printed, just Greeblies. All
Dude,
over
you should have
the
told
place.
him to buy the Frozen Mini 8K because our discount code works on the printers.
Oh,
Dude,
this is true.
Yeah, I typed in our discount code to try and get the Beast, the Mega 8K, and it took like almost $400 off.
Whoa!
And for our listeners, what is that discount code again, Stephen?
22PRDBPDP15.
Whoa.
Okay,
Also available on our Instagram.
doesn't
On our
exactly
stuff,
roll off
yeah.
the tongue, but that's what Rewind is for.
Thank you, Frozen. Looking forward to creating lots of thermal detonators to fill the Chrome-tono with that frozen resin. But that's it for me. I yield my time.
Oh.
A day of peace, a day of harmony.
I think that pretty much.
dude.
I think that does it for episode 16, the holiday special.
I've never seen this. Shame.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to us. If you like what we do, I'd be surprised. But if you do, give us a good review on our podcast app. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel at DadBashPod. You can email us questions at dadbashpod@gmail.com.
It's so loud.
You can follow me at Stevie.Kicks on Instagram, sometimes Twitter. John, where can people find you?
Alpha Ignition, if you can hear my voice.
Brian, where can people find you?
I've never heard this. This is amazing.
Yes.
You can find me at the holiday special. I'm going to go watch it after this.
It's on Disney Plus. Oh no. Jeez.
And Brian, where can people find you so we can get through this song?
Quickly.
Pippin ain't easy.
Raimi, go for it.
All right, from now until December 25th, you can find me at www.ndss.org/dadbatch.
Boom.
Excellent. Thank you again, everybody, for listening to the Dad Batch podcast. Be sure to tune in next week for episode 17. Hopefully, Tech's feeling better and he's back. But until next time, enjoy your spice responsibly. And happy Life Day.
A day that makes us want to celebrate the night. A day that brings the promise that one day we'll be free to live, to laugh, to dream, to grow, to trust, to love, to be.